Welcome to the third and final part of this how-to video. Again, if you clicked on the wrong section or you want to go back to another section, check the left and right top corners for the introductory video or the building video. Everything's set up and ready for the first powered up boot. All main essentials: fans, RAM stick, CPU, video card, power supply, motherboard, everything is all hooked up. Since this is the first test, I'm going to forego connecting the hard drive to the thing because I want to make sure it boots up correctly and goes into the simple BIOS setup screen. If it passes that, I'll go into BIOS configuration and simply fix all the settings, check everything, and make everything that's all secure. This is the first test of power. Power indicator on top is a standby power. That means the motherboard is receiving power, and the lights for the power switch and reset button are glowing as well, which is a good sign. That means the CPU, power supply, and everything are functioning normally. Now it's time to actually power the unit. Fans running, top fan, bottom fan, CPU fan, off fan. All working. Error code. If it's the correct error code, that means after some fiddling, it appeared that my RAM stick was in the incorrect slot. It actually had to be in the DMM1 slot, which is blue, the first one over from that one, in order for the RAM to be picked up. That was the reason why it wasn't booting. Nowadays, BIOS setup is really easy. The main things to worry about is the boot order, RAM timings, and temperature. Boot order controls what items in the PC start. This is important because this is how the Windows installation disk is detected. Make sure CD-ROM is set to first position. Temperature is to check if you properly installed the fans and the thermal paste. Average temperatures for i7s is around 40 to 50 C. Dual cores are around 38 to 45 C. If the temperatures are in the 80 and 90 range, please double check the heat sinks and fans for proper airflow. RAM timings are the row of numbers listed on the box and RAM itself. These control the read, write, and speed information. Normally they are detected fine, but some motherboards tend to screw them up, so check the settings. My original intention was to simply load up Windows from the original hard drive, system image it, and do the system repair disk and move it over to the solid state drive. However, I thought Windows was much smarter and was able to detect new hardware, install the correct drivers, and boot up normally. But obviously it's not, and every time I would boot from this original C drive, it would give me a blue screen of death and restart. The repair option doesn't work, so I had to basically do a clean install to the solid state drive, and then open up the original C drive as a standard drive. I also had to do a few little bit of tinkering. First of all, the main problem was you can't plug it in during startup, or it'll try to boot that drive even though you installed Windows on the other drive. It'll try to boot it blue screen, so you have to actually plug it in after Windows has started and while the system is running. Now, this is the original C drive. It's been converted into a standard hard drive, and if you're wondering why it's red, it's because it's my new paging system. Paging system is basically a virtual RAM that goes into the hard drive and stores all this temporary stuff. Like you load a program, it loads up the temporary files, and so that if you load the program again, it doesn't take forever to load up after the first time. That uses a lot of space on the hard drive mainly, but it also basically makes your hard drive write 2 times, running the program itself and then reading the pre-catch information. So I simply disable those paging systems on the new C drive and move it to the old C drive, and it's run by a different hard drive, so that now that's freed up and it runs it from a different place, and it makes the computer go even faster. Now I know you guys are wondering what my Windows Experience Index number is. My processor subscore is 7.5, so it determines it by that low subscore. RAM 7.6, graphics 7.9, gaming graphics 7.9, primary hard disk 7.7. Even with all this extensive hardware, it still doesn't get a perfect score. Shows you how difficult it is in Windows 7 to get a perfect score. This concludes the Build a PC video. I hope you found it informative and a little bit more easier to build a PC. Again, check back. If you want to check back on all the videos, you can click boot, introduction, or assembly, or the chapter points on either left or side of the screen. Again, I'm your host, Archer9234.